This is my first video blog, and it's basically about social platforms, mainly about Facebook. I read an article where tech person said that algorithms are basically, she wasn't saying useless. She was saying that they aren't all that what they're hyped up to be. Basically, algorithms are code. It's programming. So she was saying that garbage in means garbage out. And that's across platforms. And artificial intelligence is no more intelligent than or dumb than the biases that people program into them. Now, everybody knows about Facebook and Twitter and how foreign governments, specifically Russia, are using them against us. Our Congress, our leaders have not caught up with modern technology. Everything needs some form of regulation. If our bodies weren't regulated, we would die. It's just that simple. And if this world is not regulated, if our country is not regulated, people are going to destroy the ecosystem. It's just that simple. It's human nature. They're going to overdo everything. Now, we've known for years that fluoride is basically rat poison. But we can't get them to take it out of our water, our toothpaste, or anything else they want to put it in. It seems like big business, white men have a fascination with poison. And I digress. Back to Facebook. Facebook is designed for users to waste time. Prime example. If you tag someone and their first name is James, let's say, Facebook won't put up all the people on your page named James. You won't find the James that you're looking for. You have to go to his middle name or his last name, and then he'll pop up. That's dumb. The algorithm should know what Jameses you have on your page are the ones you interact with and the ones who interact with you. Initially, the Facebook feed was people you knew and interacted with. Now Facebook automatically has you following everybody that you receive a friend request from, and you send a friend request, which is dumb, which is absolutely dumb. So you know that's meant for chaos and for you not to get a feed where you really get to know anybody. And it's more difficult to establish real Facebook friends and a community of friendship. And, Twitter is different from that, I suppose, the way I see it. If I post something on Twitter, everybody sees it. Whether I follow them or they're following me or not, it goes through the Twitter mill. And if somebody picks it up and it gets retweeted and retweeted and retweeted, then it gets more notice. That makes Twitter what Twitter is and stuff. I don't know why Twitter can't code spell check and make it work, or why they can't up the characters that we can use. I mean, you could post a boatload of pictures and stuff that have more megabytes and stuff than the characters they're holding us to. But a lot of these platforms about wasting time and distraction. And I don't know any reason for anybody to take a tech giant or any other billionaire seriously about running for president. That includes Mark Cuban. I mean, just because we've had Donald Trump, why should we vote for another rich billionaire to be president of the United States? We really don't need attorneys. I mean, we need regular people. Other people, for the people, and by the people. Attorneys are the main reason that our world is all torn asunder today, in my opinion. And they don't make the legal system, and that's legislators, the Supreme Court, court justices, regular judges, and the legislature, if I didn't say that. They don't make it easy for citizens to address the machine, the institution. They make it easier for criminals to. They have all kind of forms, ready templates for them to use. They give them all kind of opportunities to address what's going on with them in the criminal world. And that's important. That's essential. Because you can get caught up in a bind, and it's a real serious thing. And you need all the ammunition you can to go against City Hall or the state. This is what I'm saying. You can't fight City Hall. I don't know why the fuck we can't when it's supposed to be us, a government, other people, for the people, and by the people. If we can't communicate with ourselves and our institutions, then we're in trouble. One of the main reasons with government today is bureaucrats. Those motherfuckers that are there forever and have finagle out benefits that are breaking the system. You know, public service is not a for-profit enterprise. And so for teachers and bureaucrats to get these golden benefit packages and golden bailouts is horrendous. It's awful. Now they've removed the Dodd-Frank bill. The military asked them not to do that. It seems like it's real important for military people, and it protects them as well as other citizens. But our government is not listening to the people. So we need to toss their asses out. We need to start having constitutional conventions, and we need term limits. Nobody should have a job forever, I don't think. That includes tenured professors and Supreme Court judges and other judges that are appointed for life in lower courts under the Supreme Court. You know, you get real comfortable if you got a job forever and you know you can eat and you got a roof over your head. You know, get a regular job at some point. Well, people say, well, you know, we keep getting new people in there. They don't know what's going on. That's not true. If you get real people in there, they got staff. They know what's been laid out before them, and they should know what's good and what's not good, and what to touch and what not to touch. But these people that are making laws that then they place themselves above the law, they need to get gone in a hurry. Congress shall make no law that it places itself above. And I'm paraphrasing. That might not be exactly how it is. You know, I never knew the president had as much power as he has since Donald Trump took office. It almost seems like he's invincible. And that's bullshit. He's not invincible. He's invincible because he has a bunch of scared-ass Republicans who knows he's trouble. He's like Nero fiddling while Rome is burning and the House of Representatives is sitting around allowing him to make this country look as bad as it has ever looked. And I, for one, don't see how you could get greatness from the way this country was discovered and built on the foundation it was built on. I don't see how greatness could come out of that. You have to atone for that and do right to be great. And I don't see, people being able to do this. When I was smaller, I used to think white people were smart. I didn't think they were smarter than black people. I knew the history of black people and their contributions to this society. And all of the major inventions that make this place work, make this country work, comes from black minds. So why would they stifle that? Why would they stifle that? You would have had cure for cancer by now if you had inclusive colleges and you had schools with equal opportunity and they were funded equally and shit. You shouldn't have to bus anybody anywhere. Community schools, how does the money get distributed? Everybody that pays taxes. Blacks are worth over $1 trillion. So we should have schools that are worthwhile schools, right? So something has to be done. We could go back to separate, but it has to be equal. I don't think we necessarily wanted to move next door to white people. I don't think we necessarily wanted to go to school with white people. We just wanted to sit on the bus where the fuck we wanted to, eat where we wanted to, get a job where we wanted to, move where we wanted to. And that necessarily didn't have to be around white people. We wanted to have communities where we could build. And I think what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, was very traumatic for blacks. Rosewood and a lot of other places and stuff like that. So it kind of ingrained in us that, well, maybe we should not push this hard and congregate and be this successful. That never scared Jews or anybody else. Koreatown, or Chinatown, or Little Russia, or anybody else. So why the fuck should it scare black people? We can rebuild Black Wall Streets all over this country. We produce millionaires every year in all areas, not just sports, academically also. So tell your children, don't give away their intellectual property, their ideas. If they're working for somebody and they're learning stuff and they have an idea, don't develop it there. Just venture capital, go somewhere, leave those motherfuckers and go make your whatever you invention yourself, and don't give it all away. Keep a percentage of it. Make sure you keep a nice percentage of it and some control in, so you can pass it on to your children. And all the entertainers and people in movies, etc., you can use the Jimmy Dean rule to regain control of your relatives' genius. If there was a music or movies, anything, the image and the rights to that. And so all these Jewish people who are getting credit for writing stuff they didn't write and then putting their children's name on it, so they're getting royalties and perpetuity. And erroneously and falsely and criminally, that should stop. And I just had a mild stroke the other day, and so that's why my speech is not quite right. And I lost my smile. But I'm blessed. It was a mild stroke. And I hope I never have another one of those things. And if I did, I think I'd take myself out. I mean, you just bouncing off walls and falling and stuff, and you just don't have the strength in whatever side it hits that you once had. And it can cause, I can understand why people can get depressed. And I have a master's degree in social work. I'm not practicing. It was in addictions and mental health. And I'm recovering myself, 33 years, right? So I've seen the crack epidemic. I've seen people use all sorts of drugs, heroin, cocaine, crack cocaine. I never used crack cocaine. But when Ronald Reagan and Ollie North introduced cocaine to the West Coast and spread out across the country and morphed into crack, they're responsible for that. I didn't see that same sympathy and empathy for crack users that we're seeing now with opioid users and heroin users. White people have been using heroin forever. And with China and the opium wars, who was doing that? So opium is not new. You know, white overdose is not new. The response to drug addiction and usage is kind of out of whack, and it's biased and prejudiced. That's obvious. That's my frame on it as a social worker who's practiced for nearly 18 to 20 years. And this has been rather my first blog on a number of topics. It may have seemed like I was rambling. I didn't write anything down or try to focus on one subject. I guess the theme running through my subject is, you know, we know it now. We're on the precipice. We live in a country that's full of shit. And it's coming to a head. It is really coming to a head. I mean, men have been awful when it comes to women, especially white men, you know. And as quiet as it kept, white men, white people have been the role model for black people and the world. Even in India, they want to lighten their skins. In Africa, they want to lighten their skins. While white people are out in the sun wanting to darken their skin. They want to have the nicest tan. If they could have one year round, they would have it. You know, and they could do that anyway. And then they might turn orange like Donald Trump or something. If that lady I saw that time who did too much and stuff. And they putting stuff in their lips to have round, full lips like black people. They're appropriating hairstyles and stuff as America is giving us hell for our hairstyles. You know, like people don't know what dreadlocks are. Or people, you know, don't know what afros are or cornrows are. If Africans came to this country, nobody would give them any issues about tribal marks, a hairstyle, or dress. I don't know why white America has such a fixation with black people being themselves in this country. We built this motherfucker. You hear me? Intellectually and physically, for free. You've stolen patents. You've stolen labor. You've stolen wealth from Africa that belongs to us. You've given everybody reparations except us. But guess what? You're going to give us reparations. If we have to go to the UN, if we have to convince African countries to leave the UN and form an African Union, which Gaddafi was trying to do, and align with Pakistan and India. There are dark people there. And once dark and brown people wake up, they're going to understand that we have to unify. That the threat is not between us, it's outside of us. And it's called white supremacy. Where they can just like pick a group and say, okay, you're white. Like they do with Arabs. Now we know damn well Arabs are not white. Okay? I don't care who says that or how much you believe it. You are not white. General Nasser of Egypt said that Jewish people left Palestine black and came back white. So, and, we all know, I believe Semite means half black. That's why Hitler wanted to kill all of them. No, I don't know. Because they were half black? No. Because they were so prosperous everywhere they went and they stuck together. They, took care of each other, gave each other loans without interest. They're the mighty people. Jews controlled the music industry and the movie industry. And they were always saying, well, the South is not ready for this. Or, such groups, the country's not ready for this. And, when they had the power to say, look, this is what we're going to show. If you don't like it, change the channel and stuff. So I know that Jews were instrumental in the civil rights movement. And then they left and became white. And I have some answers. I intend to write some books and memoirs and technical material in the social work realm, and hopefully some fiction. And it's a big claim, but Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said, if we found the keys to the colors, we'll solve a lot of problems. I think I know the keys to the colors. I think I know some things to say and share that could open some eyes. I've been a procrastinator, and I need funding, So we'll see. This is a rather lengthy blog. I have a blog page that I haven't paid much attention to in a long while, but I'm going to start voicing my opinion because I am a social worker. Social work involves the impact of systems on people and the impact of people on systems. And over the years, social work has listened to some really crazy people, even in the area of sociology of work systems and stuff like that. The people that built businesses, operate those businesses on the biases and dominance of the community of social work that has business social work models, sociological models. So have a nice day. Like Malcolm X said, we are a peaceful people. We are a loving people. We have shown America that over and over, from Christmas addicts up to people who are volunteering of color right now in the militaries. There are things we have to do for ourselves, and there are things that this government needs to do for us because we deserve it, we work for it, and we should have it, including reparations. Obama gave Jews reparations, American Jews reparations. For what? I don't understand that. And reparations for black people never crossed his mind. Okay, it didn't cross Bernie Sanders' mind either, or Hillary Clinton's and stuff. The DNC is as stupid as the RNC. They're awfully quiet. They don't have a message. The bottom line is, no matter who white people are, if they're Democrats, they still benefit from white supremacy. That's the bottom line. That's why Bernie Sanders doesn't think reparations for blacks will work. That's not true. Reparations can be in kind and monetary, and you figure out the rest of the shit as we go along. Whether people are going to get individual checks or it's going to be a collective. And once you do collectives and you put people in control, people are going to steal. Any kind of money you give any business group or Jewish people, they aren't going to spend it. If you give black people money that is theirs anyway, they're going to put it back into the economy. So, and Paul Ryan, who's following this Ann Ryan stuff, you know, and he benefited from the social network himself, is kind of outrageous. He's a hypocrite. And everybody that's benefited from the system and is against a social safety net are hypocrites. And they should burn in hell. Even though I don't believe there's a hell. You know, that's some shit Dante invented and shit. There's no concept. There was no concept of a hell before he came up with that bullshit. But Malcolm X also said, we love everybody who loves us, but we don't love anybody who does not love us. And we are not going to sit around and continue to be sitting ducks. The people in Oklahoma thought that people would respect that they had been service people, and they went in their homes and they put on their uniforms and were shot down on their porches and stuff. The railroads were blocked, and the local police helped, and they had airplanes bombarding those people just because white people got jealous of their success. That's the same thing that happened in Germany. Hitler was jealous of Jewish success. So that kind of programmed us. But we're breaking out of that program as we speak, as we live and breathe. So, you know, I can't do it. I've had a struggle. Live long and prosper. And that's for all people. You know what? I respect all people. I love all people. But I especially love Nubian, black people. God put me here for a purpose, and I'm here to see it. I'm here to witness the precipice. You know, the honor before the fall, pride before the fall. I've been saying what I've been saying for a long time. I said in undergraduate or graduate school that the 2008 depression was going to happen. But this time they were going to struggle mightily to prop it up. And they gave banks all this money with no strings attached. And they found out that they could work people to death with fewer people and make money. And then the Fed start loaning the money with very, very low to no interest. And so they just been making money off money. You know, in the movie about Wall Street, when Michael Douglas said, greed is good. Greed, greed, greed. Greed is good. I forget his character name. And then my man did the same role. I can't think of his name right now. Just won an Oscar, and he's really done some great movies over time. But I'm drawing a blank. Maybe it's the stroke that's making me have a retrieval problem. But it's in the computer. I just can't retrieve it right now. And I will see you guys at some other point in the future, hopefully. All eyes on me. They have been. I know it. I was called in by the FBI back in the day, nearing the end of COINTELPRO, which never ended. They just had a small chat with me. And I tried 3 or 4 times to get them to release the information with the help of Senator Lindsey Graham and House of Representative person who's retired now. His name was Bob Ingalls, I think. So, Lindsey, I love you. I don't agree with you a lot of times, but you are my senator from South Carolina. And you've helped me. Every time I've called your office, you've helped me. And I appreciate that. You were willing, your staff people and you were willing to help me, no matter how many times I call. And I voted for you in the primaries. I never voted Republican. I voted so you wouldn't get primary. Over and out.